Alright, so today's video is going to be about the not so new Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. This concealer has been on the market for quite some years, but unfortunately they didn't have an expanded shade range. So it was really difficult for people my complexion or darker to actually be able to go ahead and test out and try and buy the concealer because it just wasn't working with our skin tones. So now that they've expanded it, I'm able to actually go ahead, try this out and see if it is actually worth all the hype. Like, some people swear by this concealer, like they call it a holy grail concealer. So in order for you to be considered a holy grail, you really have to be doing something as a concealer, especially a drugstore concealer. Now, for those of you that don't know, I love purchasing different types of concealers. I just feel like concealer is one of those things that you can really go ahead and splurge a little bit more on because it does so much to kind of bring together your face and bring together your look. So I was really interested in trying this to see if it was worth all the hype. And so the color that I got in this one is actually the color tan, and the color after that seemed like it was going to be too much of my skin tone, and the color above tan was just not going to work. I was going to look ashy. So instead of looking ashy, I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and take a chance on this tan one and see how it works and how it balances out. So I actually have on the new matte Maybelline foundation in warm coconut. So I feel like it would pair well with another Maybelline product, hopefully. So we're gonna see how these two work with each other and how they balance each other out. So I wanted to come up close and actually show you more of the packaging. It's just a simple plastic container that they've put it in here for you to view. You can see the color through that, so which is good, which kind of helps you in store to be able to, you know, see if it matches your complexion. Unfortunately, they didn't have any testers at my local Walgreens. This is where I picked it up, and this also retailed for $5.99 at my local Walgreens when I went and picked it up, and it has a really cool applicator. So this is the actual applicator. It is a soft round sponge, and I've used this about 2 times before, so you can see the sponge applicator becomes very saturated with the product. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my little purple Real Technique sponge. I got this in a pack of 4 different sponges for $4.99 at my local Walgreens. I love these sponges. They are really good. They're really effective. If you don't want to shell out $20 for a quote-unquote real beauty blender, then I would definitely recommend these Real Technique sponges. This is a nice little small one, and it's perfect for getting right underneath the eye. So I'm going to zoom you in so that way we can go ahead and do the application process together. So one of the biggest claims this concealer makes is that it's able to erase the dark circles under your eyes. I'm a person that personally has a lot of hyperpigmentation. You probably won't be able to see it directly here because I do have foundation over top of it, but I really want to see if this is able to do a lot for hiding, quote unquote, you know, any darkness that may peek through. Because for me, during my makeup application process, when I do put on concealer without any color corrector underneath, unfortunately the dark circles begin to peek through. So we're going to take it here, and in order to get the product out, you just turn it here at the bottom. And as you can see, it does make that clicking sound, so you know that it's working. And then it's pretty much just going to begin to push the concealer up to the top for you. And as you can see at the top, that's pretty much how much came out from those pumps. So I want to see how much that's going to cover. So I'm going to begin the process on over here. Okay, so you can see those pumps were able to get a lot of product out, which is really good because, you know, you don't want to have to keep going and going in order to get the product out. So I can tell you off the bat that the color is nice, rich, and very creamy. So we're gonna go ahead and continue to highlight those areas of the face, which are right here under the eyes, the bridge of the nose, Cupid's bow, chin, and forehead. Okay, so we've got it applied. I feel like tan actually is a pretty good color for a concealer for me to match my undertone as well. So if you are my complexion, I believe that this would work really well for you. We're gonna go ahead and use the trusty little Real Techniques mini beauty blender, and we're going to blend that out. Alright, so this is pretty much the initial blending out of the concealer, and I have to say I think that it blends out really nicely. It blends out very smoothly, and it also surprisingly has a lot of coverage. There's a lot of coverage here. There's a lot of coverage here. So for me, this looks really good. One of the things that I can say about this is under the eyes, it does begin to immediately crease. So as you can see, kind of right there, it is settling just a little bit into the creases under my eye, but that's not atypical for me because I have a lot of creasing under my eyes. So if you are the type of person that is looking for this to be a concealer that erases, you know, your fine lines on your eyes or fills in every line and wrinkle, this may not be that for you, but overall, from right now, I think that it actually is pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup. I'm just gonna go ahead and contour a little bit and set my under eyes and everywhere else that I put concealer with powder, and be right back. Alright, so I'm back. So I've just did a little bit of contouring with powder to kind of offset the highlight, so that way you can kind of see the full dimension and the effect that the concealer gives you with everything. So that's that side, and there's that side. So overall, I would say that this is a pretty good concealer for the price point. Is this concealer rivaling other major concealers such as YSL concealer or Kat Von D concealer or NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer? I personally am gonna say no, just because to me the finish wasn't as smooth as I'm used to from the other concealers that I like, but it does give you a lot of bang for your buck. But would I recommend that you get this concealer? Yes. It's nice and affordable. It goes on well. It blends out very well. The only drawback to the concealer is if you don't set it immediately, and I mean like right after you apply it, you will get a little bit of your fine lines showing through under your eyes. Now, as far as the coverage goes, I wanted to go ahead and zoom you in so that you can see that just a little bit of the darkness, my hyperpigmentation right here, began to come through as soon as I set my concealer with powder. So once I did that step, like always, because I didn't color correct underneath, I kind of knew that it wasn't going to be able to cover everything. It did do a good job of covering quite a bit under the eye, but just still a little bit of the darkness from my hyperpigmentation coming through there. I would definitely give this a thumbs up and tell you that if you don't have this in your makeup collection, you can go ahead and spend the $5.99 or $6.99 and purchase it and give it a try. I feel like this would definitely be a good concealer just to have on those days when you just kind of want to throw something on and go about your day. I do believe that the finish for this is rather matte, so if you do have very dry under eyes, this may not work well for you unless you use a very hydrating primer and focus it under your eyes. But yeah guys, thank you so much for watching and tuning in. If you like this video and you want to see more videos like this, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the like button, and please comment below and let me know what you think about the concealer. Have you tried it? Do you think it's a concealer that you would go out and actually purchase and try for yourself? Given the shade range, comment below, let me know. I love to hear from you guys, and as always, I'll see you next time. Bye!